Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to look at the new deck that's going to be really popular after Cyberstorm Access, which is Superheavy Samurais. You've got Pearly and Superheavy Samurais going to be some really big decks coming into the format, so it's pretty important to know what to do. So we're going to give you a quick introduction of the deck and what it generally does as quick as I can. Then I'm going to jump into the spreadsheet where I can show you some of the combos that I've been doing in the deck, the really basic ones. The deck we're looking at base is the one that just won the 10K tournament that was hosted by Card Merchant Hamilton, I think it was. And the winner of that won a bunch of cases, and he was playing the deck like this. You'll see lots of variants online where they're playing like Cybersteins, Naturia Beasts, some FTK stuff, some hand loop stuff, some Beyond the Pendulum stuff. There's a lot of different ways you can play the deck. This engine's super splashable, and you'll see it in decks like Adamantipator, Virtual World, even Synchrons. It's it's pretty crazy. But this is pretty much a very pure and consistent build of the deck with a bunch of hand traps and a bunch of really good cards. So just quickly, we've got the bike, searches for any of them. We've got the pendulum, which summons itself and puts a big banky in the scale. Soul pierces just goes to the grave, not a hard once per turn. Search any of you guys. Wagon searches for soul monsters. Scales is the one that reborns. Extender, really good. Extender gets you into this guy. Big Benki searches for any soul if you control a monster. Gearbox searches Tunneler when it's added from the deck to the hand. Searchable. And then the rest is all just hand traps or board breakers. The deck can't really play spell or traps, or if it does, you've got to get rid of them out of the graveyard. So you basically just want to play as the best monsters, really. And the side deck is pretty solid. It seems like the Bestials work really well with the deck as well, and the extra deck is pretty solid as well. Cleafor is inclusion, which I like. It searches for a level 5 or higher when 2 monsters are summoned to zones it points to. It's also spell and trap removal, and it's unaffected by spell traps, which is cool. The Scarecrow reborns, Baron, New Axel, Synchro, Stardust Dragon. I love Stardust, so this is epic in my books. Sargus is what searches your Regulus if you don't want to search it off Cleafor, and Spriggans gets you into Sargus. Gear Geigen X. There is the Ancient Gear Link monster as well you could play, but you basically use Gear Geigen X to search Ancient Gearbox. In other variants of the deck, it might be searching Cyberstein or something crazy. Baguska, and then your level 8 spell trap removal or your win condition in time, which is pretty interesting. It's cool the deck has that going for it, I guess. And we'll jump into the 1 card combo if you open Soul. You can basically do all the same combos off all the different cards I have in the spreadsheets here, except Wagon. Wagon's not as optimal, but you can see it's 1 less card, but they all pretty much get you the same thing, which is it's a really good thing. And what the player who won the event with this list was really going for, he was going for like just like a solid end board. He wasn't going for any of the crazy stuff that's going to win him like every single, like where like the exterior, because the body ends on is really good. So if you want to check out his profile of the video, he does a video on Grim channel, and which is really good. And DB Grinder has like a feature match of him on there as well, so I would check them out if you want to see him play the deck. But he just gets drolled to death, honestly, so you can't really see him play the deck as much. So I'll show you a combo, and I can swap and do a quick test hand on our table. We have a table set up, so yeah, I'll do a quick test hand. If this wants to load. Yeah, I don't think it's loading. And while we wait for it to actually saw, I have a good idea. In the last video where I covered Drytron, I showed you some of the basic math in the spreadsheet. Same kind of thing here. The deck's got some crazy math going on because most of the deck is 1 card combos. So you can see, you know, there's 12 1 card combos in the deck really that are really good and get you the end board you want. There are other 1 card combos that don't get you the end board you want, and you could make other cards 1 card combos if you added some bricks to your deck. But for the most part, the way the deck is, it's built pretty solid. Yeah, that's the math for anyone that's interested. And we'll crack on into this replayer. So you always need one discard, but basically most of the combos, normal summon souls, link it off. Souls lets you search for any super heavy samurai monster, and then you search for the bike because you need a level 2 tuner. You want to reborn off Axel Synchro status, so you pretty much want to always search for bike because bike searches any of the monsters. So it's basically just trying to get it in the graveyard, and it'd be really easy to forget to search for bike and go straight into the next monster, which we'll get. But you can see now we get the Prodigy. Prodigy gets us Big Benki, and then we synchro out. That happened quite quickly, but Prodigy's effect and skills, it summons itself, and then we use them both to synchro into Axel status. Then we'll do Chainlink 1 Axel status, Chainlink 2 Soul Piercer to search, and then Chainlink 3 Wakaushi Prodigy to scale itself, which is really nice. So you get to protect your soul and your Axel status dragon. And you can see we get the Soul Peacemaker, which is pretty important. And then Soul Peacemaker's effect tributes the link to summon these guys. So we've got a Baron, so we're pretty protected right now, and we have a Big Benki search. Big Benki only searches for the soul monsters. So it's really important when you plan the deck, are searching the correct monsters, because some cards let you search for any of them, and some cards only let you search for soul monsters. And Big Benki is one of the ones that lets you only search for soul monsters. So we search the booster. Booster can equip itself to a monster, and then I think it's blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's a tuner. Yeah, that's the one that's a tuner. But we're mainly doing it so it can summon itself after it unequips itself. So there we go. Now we have level 4s. So here I'm going to search for the Ancient Gear. I'm going to try and get to Ancient Gear box. And I do it by going into Gear Gigant. I don't use Soul Piercer because I want to get the Soul Piercer search, and when that is detached as Xyz material, I won't get the search. It needs to go from the field to the grave. So you see here, Ancient Gearbox. Ancient Gearbox searches for any trying to track Tunneler, and then we link into Cleafort. Soul Piercer gets us Wagon. So we search Wagon because it's one of the last names we haven't used, and it'll get us a free search, so we'll get some follow-up. We don't really use it in this combo, but it's important if we got interrupted and we need an extra body for like an Appaloosa or anything, which we can't complain. Then we'll pen summon for free. Cleafort Genius lets us search a Kaiju, so even if they did manage to carry our board, we're going to get rid of whatever tower they summon. We're going to Xyz into the Spirit. Oh no, sorry. Then we use Wagon effect to search for the Soul Claw. Then we'll summon Spriggans, and then Gigantic. Search for the Furion King Regulus into an Appaloosa. We summon the Regulus. That happened quite quick, but we summon the Regulus, equip the Soul Piercer. Then we use Baron effect to pop the Soul Piercer, which will then get us an additional search. I usually search for the bike, because bike will let me find get any name next turn. And then here we're gonna use the Infinitrack to shuffle some names back. These are usually sorry, I can't do Axel. These are usually always the names I put back because I'll be able to like use them again. But we draw 2, so most of the time with that combo you're ending with we go back to the also, this is a really cool. So DB Grinder posted like a video yesterday where the Earth Machine people had made this spreadsheet, which is it's way better than my spreadsheet I was making. So I'd definitely check it out. It's got like all the versions. I joined the Superheavy Samurai Discord and there was nothing. So I was like, right, I'm going to figure all this out myself. And as I've got everything ready, then this drops and I'm like, oh my God, right, there's literally everything. So I would check that out as well if you want to dive deep into like all the variants. But you need to get these bare bones essential combos down as well. So you know you're going to have all the cards in your hand as well, plus the draw 2 Pot of Greed, plus all of this stuff. It's really, really nice. Prodigy, we do a very similar thing, except with Big Benki, we search for Soul Piercer, and then we normal summon it. Spike just searches Soul Piercer or Prodigy, and then does either of them combos. And then Wagon, I guess I can highlight the Wagon combo because it's not what you'd expect immediately. if DB, because I know when I looked at when I was looking to try and figure out the wagon combo, I was doing some crazy stuff that like was just way too complicated than it needed to be. So I'll quickly just highlight the prodigy, and then once it gets to the point where like we saw in the last combo, I'm just gonna skip it because there's lots of ways to do this. Like I believe in you guys, you can do it. Bike search, soul peacemaker, so on. Get an extra search. You know the drill, and now we've got all the same pieces we did last time, just a different order really. The wagon combo is a bit more interesting. We'll do that one. So wagon, when it's normal summon, switches itself to defense mode. Then it has a second effect which lets it switch itself to attack mode and search for any soul monster. This is probably the worst start because it could just get Ghost Ogred right away and then you have nothing. But we live in a world where we don't get Ghost Ogred. So you can see here we search the Soul Piercer, but we're a bit screwed now because we don't have a normal summon. Where we'd normally have a normal summon for Soul Piercer, most of the combos use Soul Piercer as a normal summon. You can actually just equip Soul Piercer from hand to the wagon, and it's basically the same as normal summoning Soul Piercer. And boom, the combo is just the same as the very first combo I showed off. Maybe I'm just stupid and it took me longer to realize that than most. But I was doing some crazy combos with like using Gear Gigant to get the guys I needed, and it was dreadful. I was ending on just dreadful. I was like, I'm gonna have to put bricks in to make wagon a bit better, and it wasn't great. But you can see the combos we're doing the thing. It's exactly the same. We're just gonna have one less search, which is fine by me. Honestly, it is fine by me. We still get the essential search we want, which is the bike as follow up. I think the bike is really good as follow up, and you get the draw 2 as well. So we end +2 basically with 5 cards in hand +2. So 7. Very nice. So that's it generally for the combos. I might link this spreadsheet if people want it, but literally it's exactly what you'd expect. And with this other spreadsheet releasing, I would definitely check that out on DB Grinder's channel or join the Earth Machine Discord, because you can imagine I can probably get it from there. And they have a lot of information on like text and everything. So way more than I'd managed to compile for this video. So props to them. But other than that, I think we just crack on into a test hand, really. And just show you it in action and what you'd go. Maybe we can do a Nibiru proof combo, maybe, right? So we've got a Kashtira Fenrir, a Wagon, a Fenrir, a Ghost Ogre, and a Prodigy. You can see my proxies are terrible. For whatever reason, the map print has died. And we've lost a colour. So, with a hand like this, we're not going to get the Fenrir search because we only play 1. It's also important to remember that your link 1 points to this zone and this zone. So you don't want to be accidentally summoning monsters you don't plan on removing to them zones, because the reborn effect is only to them zones. So we're going to be playing into like anima zones and stuff, which kind of sucks. But so I'll spec the Fenrir with no effect, which is really sad. Having this extra monster on board is also awkward sometimes, but we'll see how it goes, right? So I'm gonna keep the wagon, and I'll probably just do a Prodigy line. So I'll activate Prodigy, see if it gets Ghost Ogred. It could get Ghost Ogred here, honestly. If it does, it's fine. We could still play through it with the hand we have, because we would just do the standard wagon line and get another Prodigy and stuff. That would go first, actually. So yeah, screw it. In this example, we will pretend we got Ghost Ogred. So the Prodigy gets Ghost Ogred. Oh no, we have now lost our combo. So we'll normal summon the Wagon, use Wagon effect to switch it to defense mode, and then we'll use Wagon effect to switch it to attack mode and search for a Soul Piercer. Again, terrible proxy. I'll use Soul Piercer effect to equip itself, and then we'll link for 1 into Scarecrow, and then we use Soul Piercer effect to search for the bike. Now we use Bike's effect in hand, discard itself to search for any of them. So we'll search out our second Prodigy. We'll scale Prodigy. Use Prodigy effect to summon itself. Then we use Scarecrow effect, discarding our spare Fenrir. Just because I know I'm not going to be able to pendulum summon it because I've already got a guy out. So we'll summon back our Soul Piercer at the zone it points to. It's really important that you don't mess your zones up with this. And then I need to put a Big Benki in my pendulum skill as well, sorry. Because when it summons itself, it puts the Big Benki in the skill. You can only activate this if you don't have the effect, if you don't have something in your skill. So sometimes if you wanted to do it again, you'd have to like Baron pop your Big Benki if you had another one to get out. So here we'll Synchro summon the Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon. Then we'll do Chenik 1, Chenik 2, Chenik 3 to scale itself, and then we'll search for the Soul Peacemaker. Again, really important you get that one out. And then we summon back from our graveyard the Bike that we searched earlier, which then lets us get into our Baron de Fleur. And we'll summon it over here, because for the Cleaver Genius play, we need these two zones free. Or we could have summoned it here, and then summoned Cleaver here and done 2 zones there. So here, I'm going to equip Soul Peacemaker from hand to the Scarecrow. Use Soul Peacemaker effect, tribute as cost. Summon 2 from deck. And well, not 2 from deck, sorry. Summon 1 from deck, which gets us 2. So we summon the Scales. And I'll use Scales effect to special summon Piercer from grave. Then I'm going to use the Big Benki effect I haven't used yet. You can only use this while you control a Super Heavy Samurai. It lets you search for any of the Souls monsters. So we'll search for our Booster. And then Booster Equip, Booster Spec, overlay into Gear Geigen X. All my cards are still on the way from Card Market. We'll use Gear Geigen X's effect, which will let us search for Gearbox, and Gearbox will let us search for the Infinitrack. If I can find it. Which I can't. Oh, sorry, it's banished here from a test game I was doing earlier. So we get the Gearbox on the tunneler. And now we know we're going to link these two into Cleaver Genius. And get a Soul Piercer effect, which will search for, well, we'll summon Cleaver, and then Soul Piercer effect to search for your boy Wagon. You don't actually have to search Wagon because, like, you know, like, so here the Wagon, right? We know because we already used it as a starter, and we know we don't search Wagon, we just search something else. In this situation, when I pendulum summon, because this got Ghost Ogre, I'm able to summon it. So I can add literally anything I want because I don't need it as part of my combo. So I will probably just search the Bike because I know I don't need Wagon here. So yeah, now when we go to do the pendulum summon, right, we'd normally search a Kaiju, but we know because of this extra zone, I'll just do it. We'll just do it. So we'll pendulum summon. So we'll go 1 and then to an EMZ because we're summoning from the extra. 2, 3. Then we'll use whatchamacallit, Genius effect, which will let us search for a Kaiju. So we search. This is just, it's really good to have the Kaiju just to break the board next turn, if they have a next turn, you know. We then go into the Spriggans and into the Gigantic Champion, Sargus, and Sargus will let us search for the Regulus. And then we can go into the Appaloosa here, which again is really, really nice. And then we use King Reg effect, equipping a Soul Piercer from Grave. And you know, we can go a step further, right? In the combos I showed, there's a bit of glare in the reg or something here. I showed in the combos that this is a Fenrir as well, just in case it's not clear and the proxy is terrible. In the combos, I always show like the Baron popping the Soul Piercer. But if you already have if you know after your draw 2 of your Infinite Track that you're gonna have 7 cards, one's gonna get discarded anyway, so it's probably best you don't do it. And we already have Bike here. But after we draw 2, it's only going to be 6. So I'll use Baron effect. I'll pop him and search out a secondary. I'm all pretty much. I think I'm just gonna. I have the Bike, so I can get whatever I want next turn. So I'll probably just search the Prodigy. It's good to Pendulum Summon. And then we'll use the Infinite Track effect. And we'll put back Cleafor, we'll put back Gear Gigant, we'll put back the Samurai, the Boost, and yeah, that's pretty much all we want to put back for our draw 2. Which will definitely draw some hand traps, which we will be pretty buzzing about. Draw 2. And we draw a Nibiru, which is what we like to see. So here we're ending with an Appaloosa for free, a Fenrir, a Baron. The Fenrir only because we opened it. The King Reg, which is nice. We've got a Ghost Ogre in hand, a Nibiru, a Kaiju, and yeah, some very, very good follow up. I should have this in the extra deck. For you know, so that's a free monster next turn as well if my scales stay up. So all in all, it's really, really nice. The deck is the deck's really, really cool. I'm excited for the Cyberstorm Access format. With Pearly in this deck in the format, it looks really fun. Kashtira is still going to be around, obviously, as well, but yeah, I am definitely looking forward to it. And if we can create crazy boards like these, and like this isn't like the stuff people are making actually is insane. This is just a solid end board that I'd be happy with being like, yeah, it's consistent and it does its thing. But yeah, I hope this video helped you in some kind of way. Comment if there's anything you want me to go over, or if you know this, if I haven't posted the spreadsheet, if you actually want the spreadsheet. As I said, check out DB Grinder's video. He links the spreadsheet to the Earth Machine, or just join the Earth Machine Discord. I haven't joined that yet, but I should have. I definitely should have before I started testing this deck. Yeah. But yeah, thanks. Subscribe if I helped you, and I'll see you in the next video.